Tonight, the Gulf Coast preparing for the impacts from Hurricane Michael. Look at how the storm will affect the Suncoast.
Plus, we'll hear from some Sarasota residents who have come forward with video of people snooping around their home. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Topping our news tonight, Hurricane Michael strengthening as it enters the Gulf of Mexico, making its way towards North Florida.
Forecasters say it could be the first major hurricane to hit the Panhandle since 2005. People there already getting their supplies in order, filling sandbags and buying gas cans. Let's head over to our own chief meteorologist, Bob Harrigan, with the latest on this storm. Bob?
It has entered the Gulf of Mexico, northwest of the western tip of Cuba. The 5 o'clock advisory is in, and the important point to note is there are now hurricane warnings up for parts of Florida. We are still under a tropical storm watch for Anna Maria Island northward, a watch. They haven't changed that to a warning yet because there's still some uncertainty as to how far out these tropical storm force winds may extend. Right now, it is, I said, 30 miles northwest of the western tip of Cuba right now. It puts it about 500 miles, a little bit more than that, south of Apalachicola Bay, and it is moving now off toward the north. You can see a deep convection. This is a visible satellite imagery of what Michael is doing right now, and it continues to gather strength. Top winds have popped up too now, up to 80 miles an hour, expected to be a major hurricane based on the forecast models. Now here's the forecast path and track. This is the latest. It's a Category 1. Top winds are now at 80 miles an hour. Gusts, look at that, up to 100. And it looks as though the pressure has been dropping significantly. And typically when you get a pressure drop, it intensifies a few hours later. So once it gets out into the Gulf of Mexico where very warm water temperatures are, that's the reasoning behind the fact that it's going to increase in strength. And the westerly shear will weaken somewhat. It's been under some pretty heavy westerly wind shear. It's going to be moderate as it gets into the mid part of the Gulf of Mexico. And it looks as though just enough relaxing of that shear that it will develop into a major hurricane as it approaches the Panhandle as a Category 3 storm. Look at the wind gust up to 150 miles an hour, 140 miles an hour, with winds up to 115 again. That's pushing to the northeast, eventually going to bring heavy rainfall into North Florida as well as into Georgia. We're going to see a little storm surge here too, up to possibly 2 to 3 feet, especially near Anna Maria Island and Tampa Bay. It looks like that would be the maximum at this point. You got to factor in high tide as well when it comes into play. Still too early to tell exactly when that surge is going to be a big problem, but once the storm gets parallel to us and those winds start to become a little bit more onshore is when it will be the highest. A deep convection developing near the center. It's starting to look more impressive on the western edge too, where it's been sheared quite a bit. Our chances of getting tropical storm force winds have come down with this last advisory just a little bit. In Sarasota County and most of Manatee County, that chance of getting tropical storm force winds, meaning around 40 to 50 miles an hour, has dropped down to 30%. It had been as high as 40 across most of Manatee County. Anna Maria Island still in that 40% chance range at this point. Higher amounts obviously to the north. The hurricane warning maps have not been updated yet, but they will in the next advisory as our next weathercast I'll show you. But hurricane warnings now are in effect for the Panhandle of Florida. Our watch, tropical storm watch, is still there. It could change over to a warning if the system jogs a little bit to the right, but you can see that watch is in effect now for coastal waters. This does not include the land in Sarasota County, but it does include the land in Manatee County for the potential for tropical storm force winds. It's not a guarantee yet, but there is some potential there, and we'll keep an eye on the next advisory, full advisory, which comes over at 11 o'clock. We'll have much more on this. So all the tracks are in agreement that the center isn't going to come close to us, so that's a good sign when all of them are in pretty much agreement. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. With a potential storm surge in Manatee County, public works crews are giving out sandbags to residents tomorrow at 3 locations around the county. You can pick them up from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow at GT Bray Park, Bennett Park, and the Bradenton Area Convention Center. You're allowed to fill 10 bags per household, and you must show an ID to prove that you're a resident.
And if you need some more help preparing, just go to our website, mysuncoast.com. You can look under the Weather and Hurricane Center tab where you'll find a link to our 1-hour hurricane special and our principal hurricane guide. In other news tonight, a Sarasota family is sharing some scary video. They say someone was trying to break into their home while they were sleeping. It happened in the Bent Tree neighborhood in East Sarasota. A woman carrying a backpack was caught on surveillance camera in the early morning hours. The woman looking through their window before eventually walking away. A number of residents have called in about this type of activity. The Community Association confirms this is not the first time this has happened. Residents say the situation is pretty scary.
I got two kids. I got a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old, and yeah, I worry about that because people coming around, you can't see them at night.
I moved here because it is quiet, and that's one reason I'm thinking about a security system outside.
Coming up at 6, we'll hear from Bentry's Homeowner Association to find out what steps are being taken to catch this person.
Well, ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joining us now. And Richard, selling in the morning but buying in the afternoon.
Absolutely right. When I was here at noon with Scott, we were looking at negative arrows and getting worse, and it turned out the low of the day was 223 points to the negative. Then we rallied 263 points to the positive. Put that all together, and indeed, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished the day in positive territory. Sorry to say that's not true of the NASDAQ, which has been lagging the market for some time now, and the S&P basically changed not at all. The bond market was closed today in honor of Columbus Day, so as a result, no bond trading of any kind. That may have had a little bit to do with the volatility in the stock market. Let's take a look and see exactly how we did finish. It is an up arrow. Look at that. 40 points, 0.15% at 26,486.78. That's a whole lot better than minus 223. The volume, 897 million shares. The NASDAQ, as I say, leading for the year, not leading in the last week. Down 2/3 of 1%, 52.5 points at 7,735.95. That on volume of 1,816,000,000 shares. And the S&P, not much of a change at all, down 1.41 of 1% at 2,884.43. Walmart, you know that company. Well, they're getting into the movie business and the TV business. Walmart is going to partner with no less than Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM, and they are going to put together what they believe is something that can compete with Netflix and Hulu. They have, for 8 years now, have owned a company called Vudu, V-U-D-U, which should be a competitor to Netflix, but so far, frankly, they've done very, very little with it. They expect to spend most of their time doing family-oriented shows. And again, when you're competing with the Netflixes of the world, good luck. Walmart certainly has the capital behind them. Whether people are going to really convert from Netflix to Walmart, I guess it's too early to tell. But MGM is certainly a major player in that business.
And Richard, the workshops start tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. The workshop, first one is tomorrow morning. Not too late to call in. There you see tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and also Wednesday afternoon at 1:30. Year-end planning for 2018, tax planning, gifting planning, lots of changes in the tax laws, and very importantly, 2019, can the bull run continue? RSVP is 906-2838, 906-2838, and I want to thank Bob Harrigan for not having the hurricane here so that we can put on our workshop without a problem.
A lot of good information there for our viewers.
I certainly hope so.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, residents in the Florida Panhandle being warned to prepare as Hurricane Michael heads towards the northern Gulf Coast.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus some ways workers can save on healthcare costs next year. Those stories when we come back.
The ABC7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore, but there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Blue 32! Blue 32! Hut hut! It's the Gettle Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gettle dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gettle location near you or visit Gettle.com.
Gettle's got it.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hurricane Michael forecast to strengthen more before it reaches the Gulf Coast later this week. Residents in the Florida Panhandle being told to prepare. Mary Maloney takes a look at the potential impacts of Hurricane Michael.
This storm will be life-threatening and extremely dangerous.
Florida Governor Rick Scott warning residents of the Gulf Coast region to get prepared. Hurricane Michael is on its way.
This storm will bring torrential rain to most of the Panhandle and Big Bend, which means flooding will be a major issue.
Currently a Category 1 storm impacting parts of Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula, Hurricane Michael is expected to strengthen before it makes landfall in the U.S. Heavy rainfall and winds well over 100 miles per hour are expected.
It's forecast to grow stronger and could make landfall as a major Category 3 storm on Wednesday along the Gulf Coast.
And if landfall happens at high tide, Michael's storm surge could be anywhere between 2 and 12 feet. The coastal areas of Gulf County, Florida, have already received a mandatory evacuation order. Governor Scott says everyone else needs to make a plan.
We have to take this very seriously. Families should take this opportunity to get 3 days of food and water and make sure all medications are ready.
President Trump says FEMA and the federal government are paying attention to the storm and are also getting prepared.
As Hurricane Michael nears landfall, we urge all residents to be prepared and to heed local officials.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
All right, Bob Harrigan is back, and so Bob, it's going to be out there in the Gulf, but I think we're still going to have some impacts here.
Yeah, we saw it with George. You remember George years ago? Well, George did cause some evacuations onto the barrier islands, Longboat Key in particular, and once the storm got north of us is when the surge really started to happen. So you got to keep that in mind. Right now there is a surge watch in effect for Manatee County, Anna Maria Island, a 2 to 4 foot storm surge, not out of the question with a big developing storm system. In the Panhandle, this is going to be a devastating storm, I do believe, as when you see a storm enter into a location increasing in strength, it's a lot more intense than one that's decreasing, like we saw with Irma. Although Irma did a lot of damage down in the Keys, it was weakening as it made its approach into the Keys from a 4 to a 3. So this is a 3, possibly on the verge of becoming a 4, as it makes its way toward the Panhandle of Florida. So this is going to be, like I said, a devastating storm for especially the Panhandle of Florida. The good news for us is that it looks like the center is going to stay offshore. Rainfall amounts are going to be 1 to 3 inches. I'm looking at right now, and some isolated areas could get a little bit more. As far as a windstorm, there's still some potential for tropical storm force winds, especially out in the islands, like Anna Maria Island, there's still some potential for getting some winds up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. This is the forecast of one model showing the winds in the morning pretty brisk at 3 a.m., 25 miles an hour, gusts up to 30 at that point. And then throughout the day on Tuesday, they're going to be pretty strong out of the southeast to the northwest, wrapping around the system as it will still be just to our southwest, well offshore. And then once the storm gets north of us, you're going to see these winds start to veer around more to a south to southwesterly direction. That's when you're going to start to see some of that water piling up as well. You'll see it in advance, and especially even on Wednesday at 5 p.m., you're still going to get that onshore flow, and that means still the potential for some coastal flooding there. As I mentioned, the storm, it doesn't look like it's going to deviate from its path and its forecast track. That's a pretty good likelihood it's going to do that as a result of this trough of low pressure in the western third of the nation. And we have high pressure, which is weakening off the east coast of the United States. And there's a little path of opportunity that it's going to feed right into. And as this trough moves closer and closer to it, it's going to bend it off to the northeast through Georgia and then into the Carolinas. We've already had some pretty big showers and moved through earlier, producing wind gusts up to 40 to almost 50 miles an hour offshore. You can see that rain is gone now, but that one squall right there moved on through. That's the one that generated winds at 39 miles an hour at the airport. And that's just a sign of things to come. As I mentioned, tropical storm force winds sustained. There's still a potential. We have a watch here. There's the wind gust in Sarasota. That was up at 39 miles an hour. And then the one near Anna Maria Island also at 39 just to the north there. Well, here it is. If you didn't see it earlier in the latest 5 o'clock advisory, there's the forecast path and track off to the north, then to the northeast. Major Category 3 storm with wind gusts at 150 miles an hour. This is as it makes landfall. The wind gusts may be coming down, but it could actually intensify there in between that period. Looks like landfall sometime around midday on Wednesday for us as it moves northward on in through late, looks like early Tuesday, Wednesday morning. We'll start to see that wind shift occur and bring us that onshore flow. The European model hasn't really deviated much. It's still a cause for a panhandle, looks like landfall. And to the right of the center, you're going to see a devastating storm surge there. As far as our futurecast goes, we are looking for showers and storms periodically throughout the day. The heaviest rain by far will stay offshore, but we will see the potential for some brief periods of some very gusty winds here throughout the day on Tuesday and even into Wednesday morning. So the 7-day forecast calling for a 70% chance for showers and storms through Tuesday night and through Wednesday at 60%, staying high even on Thursday as a little trough of low pressure will be left behind. It'll still be a breezy day on Thursday, and then Friday we'll get back into those scattered storms and still in that tropical air mass. Temperatures staying into the mid to upper 80s all the way through the next 7 days. So again, right now it doesn't appear that you have to put shutters up, but tornadoes, also wanted to touch on that. There's a potential for isolated tornadoes as some of these squalls move through, so be advised of that as well. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Let's get to First Alert traffic. We're seeing that the road's looking pretty good right now across the area, but we are seeing just some minor traffic build up around US 301 and State Road 70 intersection in Manatee County. Jacqueline.
Breast cancer is still one of the most deadly diseases among women despite some amazing advances. Although it's not known why certain women get the disease, being overweight is one reason believed to put women at risk, particularly those who have already undergone menopause. But there is some potential good news coming out of a new study this week. Researchers looked at a group of more than 60,000 women who intentionally lost weight. Those who lost 5% or more of their body mass were at significantly lower risk of developing invasive breast cancer. These results, though only for one particular breast cancer type in one group of people, offers some news. Not only is treating obesity good for overall health, but it also seems to offer benefits for preventing a common and debilitating disease for many women. With this Medical Minute, I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
Job-based health insurance costs are continuing to rise along with medical costs, and employers are pushing more of the cost onto their employees with higher deductibles. Now, here are some ways to help save some money. Don't automatically re-enroll. You can often save money by switching to a new plan. Also, estimate your health care needs and know what's free. You are entitled to a number of preventative services at no charge as long as you stay within your insurance network. Coming up, how this truck flew flipped through the air and landed on top of a car in central Arizona. And a brawl breaks out inside and outside the ring at an MMA fight in Las Vegas. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I heard about the DeTolli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the DeTolli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the DeTolli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
We'll take a look at this crash in central Arizona. Somehow everyone was in awe Sunday night after a truck flipped through the air and landed on top of a car, and no one was seriously hurt. The woman driving that white pickup told authorities the truck traveling in the lane next to her hit her truck, caused her to lose control. She said she then hit another car head-on, which caused her truck to flip and land on top of that red sedan. Police say everyone involved in the crash was wearing seatbelts, and that helped prevent any fatalities. Kansas City firefighters rescuing more than 20 kids and a driver this morning after their school bus got stranded in floodwaters. Emergency crews got the call about 7 o'clock this morning for a bus stranded in high water at an intersection. All of the students were safely evacuated from the bus.
Well, it was pure mayhem at a mixed martial arts fight in Vegas on Saturday night. Take a look. UFC fighter Conor McGregor jumping over the famed octagon, leaping into the crowd to continue to fight amongst the front row fans. McGregor tapped out in the fourth round of his comeback fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov, who then scaled the cage and scuffled with another fighter in McGregor's corner, setting off a brawl inside and outside of the octagon. Now, order was restored with no apparent serious injuries, but the scuffles immediately caused one of the biggest and most lucrative shows in UFC history.
3, 2, 1, ignition. Lift off.
Well, SpaceX successfully launched a Falcon 9 rocket into the California sky last night. And in a first for SpaceX on the West Coast, Falcon 9's first stage landed safely at the base about 8 minutes after takeoff. Now, videos taken by locals there show the rocket separating from the spacecraft behind the rocket trail. That rocket went on to carry an Argentine satellite into space. Had some friends who actually were in California and they didn't know what was going on and they were a little confused by that.
I think it was Elon Musk, or no, it was the mayor of Los Angeles who tweeted out, we are not being invaded by aliens. It's just a SpaceX launch.
Good to know. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, why a highly anticipated meeting involving the Parkland school shooting investigation has been canceled.
And a look at what Mote Marine Lab is doing to find out if red tide toxins in the air could be affecting your health inland.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.